Welcome back to the channel, Barbarians. In today's video, we're going to go through a very fun build with the Warlock that I've really been enjoying as we end Season 19 before Lightfall kicks off. It can be used in PvP and PvE. I personally prefer it in lower tier activities with a lot of ads in PvE. I think it does absolutely amazing. And let's go ahead and dive right into it. So, this build is on the Warlock, the Arc subclass, and we're just going to give you a quick rundown of it before I showcase the gameplay. Chain Lightning, Storm Grenade, Lightning Surge is the point of the build. Electrostatic Mind, and the fragments I'm running are Feedback, Resistance, Recharge, and Shock. So, Monte Carlo, pretty straightforward. If you don't know, weapon damage reduces, melee ability cooldown. I'm pairing it with Trusty and a Bequest from Deepstone Crypt. We'll get into more of that in a little bit. There's many different things you can use. Crown of Tempest as my exotic with Well of Ions and Legacy Ambush. Momentum Transfer, Well of Striking, Melee Damage Resist, Melee Wellmaker, Invigoration, Seeking Wells, and 1-2 finisher, Outreach, and Well of Ions. There's a lot of synergy here with this build, and we're definitely going to be diving into it. There's also a lot of customization that you can do as well. So there's kind of a base level here of what I'm using, and then it can really just go off the chain. So the whole build centers around that particular aspect, which with the Warlock, if you run, slide, and you'll see here, do your melee, you call down lightning from the sky, damaging nearby enemies and doing a very good amount of damage, as well as jolting nearby targets, making you amplified so you're faster. This build is so much fun to use. Just on the initial, how to use it, you use your melee, then you just start shooting with Monte Carlo in order to get your melee back. If you get a kill, it has a chance to fully refund your melee ability. I'm running Crown of the Tempest, so arc ability kills regenerate other depleted abilities. It's kind of like the Warlock version of Heart of Inmost Light, in my opinion. And you can just see this how this thing works. And the grenade, because I forget what it's called, but essentially if I damage targets and pick up the wells with my grenade, it's going to refund part of my melee energy. And then that is kind of the gist of it. So I'm through my nade. I already have my ability energy back. I'm going to use my sword there because why not? Now to get my melee energy, I could either wait. Now I'm using the sidearm, which I like for this build. I already have my melee back. Yeah. So initially I showed Bequest as my sword. I actually ended up changing that to one with an enhanced Eager's Edge. I thought that kind of played into the build a little bit better just because it allows me to be faster. I'm either swinging with Eager's Edge, or I'm being amplified, or I'm using my Lightning Surge strike. So I kind of use my super here, kick things off, which I already have, and it just feels great, the flow. You know, I hit them with Landfall, which is essentially the same thing, slaying out all the ads. Because I'm using Crown of Tempest, this thing lasts an insane duration. And then this is a very, very fast Gambit match here that we're facing. Yeah. Wild. And this, folks, so the premise of the build on the bare bones, I would say the essentials are Monte Carlo. You must be running the aspect. That's the whole point of the build. And then Crown of Tempest. I have tried Claws of Ahamkara, as well as some other. I tried the Poison Gauntlets for the Warlock, just as an option, but I thought Claws of Ahamkara was going to be a great option, just giving me essentially a double charge of my melee. But what I found was Crown of Tempest was just way too strong in terms of ability regen, and it just proved to be the best, for me at least, in what I thought worked with this build. Now I'd like to touch a little bit on the secondaries and heavies. This is where I think this build could be devastating in other content as well, the more I play it. Things that pair really nicely with it, of course, are Swashbuckler, Adrenaline Junkie, and Demolitionist, you're just using your abilities. And then from the previous season, you have Pugilist, which essentially if you kill somebody with that weapon, it's an inherent origin trait, I should say, gives you your melee energy back. So any of those weapons from Season of the Plunder are great options as well. And then for your heavy, really it's whatever your heart's content. Someone invades here, and we're gonna kill him first. That was one of the fastest gambit matches I have ever done. So essentially, with your energy and heavy slots being completely open, you can't equip an exotic. However, it's just the nice piece of it there is you could use weapons that will stun champions, or regarding heavies, many different options with machine guns, especially going into Lightfall, that you could use. And I don't see this build, even with all the weapon changes, going anywhere. If anything, it's just going to get stronger, depending on what comes out with some synergies in Lightfall and what we discover with different builds. So definitely try it out. This room right here, I use the build perfectly and kind of slay out. I do almost die and have some terrible aim. The good thing is, with that sliding kind of blink as well with your melee, I find it so fun to use, and then it does target on, so you won't send yourself off the edge as long as you have a target to go after. If you want to feel like an electric god, something like Raiden, highly suggest giving this a try. Let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments below, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.